Valorant has just unveiled its newest character, Harbor, and we've seen him in a cinematic but do not know his abilities yet. So today we're going to be breaking down that cinematic as well as a couple other teasers to try and tell exactly what his abilities are going to look like. Let's jump right into this. Alright, so last night we got this trailer called Turn the Tide. And I'll leave a link in the description down below so that you can check out that full trailer. For copyright reasons, obviously I can't show the whole thing, but it's really, really awesome and you should be kind of seeing it in the background now. Now, we see lots of his story and how he got his abilities and what he looks like, but we don't get a natural explanation for what all of his abilities are. But there are a couple key moments in the trailer that show a cinematic look as to what his abilities are going to be. We do know that he's meant to compete with Viper, and that leads us into this first ability, which is his wall, which you're about to see in the trailer right here. Now, let's take a look at what's actually happening in this ability because it's kind of complicated. So rewinding back, you can see that he pulls out this water orb and then is controlling this little device that is leaving a trail behind it. You'll see that he's moving his arm back and forth, and I assume this is going to be very similar to like a Sky Flash or a Fade Prowler, where you can control this orb by moving it back and forth. You can also see that it goes through the wall, so it will be able to work through walls similar to Viper's abilities. Now, once he actually controls it and gets it to go where he wants, he does this animation where he pulls towards himself, and it looks like the orb flies to him and then creates a wall. So this could mean a couple things. It could mean you set the point for the wall and then activate it, and it creates a wall from that point to him, or the orb could leave a wall behind it and then snap to him. So it would almost be like a two-segment wall where it's going to make like a sharp turn to face towards you. I could see both being true. It doesn't seem that unrealistic that they would make it so he has to place the wall like from himself, very similar to Viper, but I do think it would be very interesting to see if he could do a multi-segmented wall and see what that could mean on certain maps. You know, you could get it to go forward and then be running through like sewer or, you know, some part of a map and then get another wall to occur. Obviously, we don't know the balancing on it, but that could be a really interesting way to make him feel different than Viper, because at the moment, he does a similar thing. He pulls out an ability, he shoots it, a wall is formed. Now, there are a couple things that are going to set him apart, and the next one is kind of shown in this next clip, so let's take a look at that. All right, so you'll see here that Agent Greaves is shooting at Harbor, but it looks like the bullets are either going through the wall or more likely being stopped by the wall. And that's because if they were just going through the wall, Harbor would still be dead, and it very much matches Astra's wall when you shoot at it, the same kind of ripple effects. So that makes me think this wall you are not going to be able to shoot through, and it doesn't look transparent. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they balance an ability like that. And this is further backed up by a future clip. But that also gets us into another ability. So let's take a look at another one. All right, so they show 3 different clips, each of which I believe are showing a different ability of his. So let's jump into these. So first off, we have this smoke that he forms around himself and the agents are shooting at it and the bullets aren't going through. This confirms he's going to have at least some aspect of bullet blocking smokes. Now, we only see it around him, so maybe it's something that he can't actually throw anywhere and can only form around himself. I do worry that that feels a little bit too much like a shield, and I do worry that it may become, you know, a little Overwatchy in the fact that defense is just going to be such a heavy thing. But yeah, that's the first one. The second one is this like wave that looks like it's knocking the enemies back. So that could be another ability. Maybe he sends forward a wave and it pushes enemies back. We don't have a ton of abilities that move your opponents. We have things like Astra Suck, we have things like Raise Satchels, but outside of that, it would be fairly unique. And then we have what I believe is his ultimate, where he takes like this ring and he is making the floor wet. So maybe he has some ability kind of similar to Viper where he like spreads water everywhere and then, you know, that inflicts some sort of debuff. I do hope it's a little bit more than a debuff or a weapon. You know, recently we got Fade that just inflicts a bunch of debuffs. We have Neon that just had a weapon. We had Chamber that just had a weapon. So it does feel like we do want, you know, we've been having some less interesting ults. They're still good. I just think we should have an ult that is a little different than those. We'll just have to see. Overall, those are my predictions for Harbor. I think his signature ability is going to be that wall. He's going to have these smokes that he can kind of throw or put around himself. They seem to be transparent and can block bullets. And then he is going to have some sort of wave to push people back. And then an ultimate that does some sort of area gaining abilities. Controllers are meant to help you gain space. So overall, I think that is probably what it's going to consist of. It's really exciting. Tomorrow, that being October 13th, there's going to be a streamer event where they are going to showcase the character. So we'll be able to see all the details of his abilities tomorrow. And then I will be doing a live stream this Friday, that being October 14th. So if you have any things you want me to test, I will be playing the character live on Friday. Either way, guys, I will see you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts on Harbor in the comments down below.